Welcome to the Cozy Convos podcast. I am your host, Elijah. You guys, we are back with the 9th episode, honey. We are flying through these, aren't we? Today's topic, you guys, is something that I really want us to embody as we step into the new year. I know, honey, December just started, honey. We have to get through Christmas first. But, honey, it's the last month of the year, so it's really getting serious, I feel. Today, what we will be discussing is, as humans, it is our birthright to live a life of luxury.
Let's have a conversation and make it cozy. Let's dive into the unknown so we can continue growing. It won't always feel so comfortable letting go of limited beliefs, but we know we have big dreams and goals, so we're committed even when truth gets heavy. Let's have a conversation and make it cozy. Let's address the hard things and still make it feel so cozy. Let's embrace our flaws so we can feel even more cozy. This safe space won't make you feel anything other than cozy.
Now, the way that I speak about luxury in today's video may seem a little bit different than what society often associates the word with. I feel like when we hear luxury, I do think we think about those experiences, those grandeur, beautiful moments, beautiful places, but I do think a large sense of luxury has become rooted in the physical possessions of something. And that was the same way that I thought growing up as well. That's the environment that I was surrounded by, so I always thought luxury was something above me, something out of my range, something that had to be expensive or grandeur for me to enjoy it, or to claim it as luxury. But it's like, girl, once you go through life, for me personally, you step outside of that teenager mindset, those teenager habits, you start stepping into more of a young adult life with more responsibilities. Your outlook on life changes completely. And y'all know I moved out here when I was 19 with no plan. That was in 2023. So kind of going through the motions of life and falling down, getting back up, studying these changes that took place, I've gained a clearer practical understanding of where I am in my life. And when I say practical, honey, I'm speaking more so practical in spiritual terms. And the best way that I can describe what I mean is pretty much not being afraid of humble beginnings. This awareness, this epiphany, this revelation, if that's what you want to call it, it has awakened something in me that has helped me adjust to a more authentic lifestyle. Moving out on my own helped me to really discover how blinded I was by the flashy illusions of this world. I can look at my past now and realize that it was a reflection of my attachment to those things, hoping to seek external validation and acceptance. Oh, honey, especially as a queer man? I mean, any minority group, honestly. But for me, not really having those examples as far as what it looks like to be authentic and be open and be yourself, learning how to do that on my own, it just really shows you how interconnected everything is and how deep everything really goes. Honey, and all we're tackling today is the topic of luxury. Now, I've said this before, but majority of my life, I've lived in opposition to my true nature. I feel like, honestly, that's all of us, honey, but I'm just gonna speak for myself, my experience, honey, this is just me. But when I say opposition to my true nature, I'm just talking about the way in which I go about living my life. What am I truly chasing? What is it that I truly need to make me emotionally fulfilled? I always went along with the standard that I saw presented in mainstream media, in social media. For a majority of my life, I was always trying to keep up the status quo. So there's a clear, distinct difference that I'm trying to kind of paint the picture around here. Of me once living a life where I felt like I needed to impress people, where I needed to be validated, where I needed acceptance, where I was always looking outside of myself. Versus now I'm living more freely, I'm living more authentically, more vulnerably, not feeling like there's anything that I need to showcase to prove something to people. And that is what I mean when I say opposition to my true nature, those two different sides. I feel that I am a being meant to experience luxury in my own way. In my own way equals individuality. I say individuality and I highlight that word intentionally because it is so crucial to point out how specific and unique we each truly are. Everyone's definition of things look different. All of us live with different beliefs, different looks, different mindsets, different gifts. So we are going to need to nurture those special parts of us in a different way that may feel odd and different in comparison to others. Which is why for me, honey, it has become very important that I create experiences that have nothing to do with social media or nothing to do with you looking at technology. Now, I know this kind of can be a little bit of a contradiction coming from my mouth, being that I'm somebody I'm getting back into my vlogs, I do my music, I am very much so a content creator. But I spend more time creating than I do consuming. So I don't watch a lot of other people's content. If I am on technology, if I am on my phone, it's more so to focus on I don't want to say focus on myself. It's more so I'm just working on the things that have to do with Elijah. I'm working on my videos, my music. It's very much me. So I don't want to say like technology. I guess I will say just consuming social media, consuming other sources sources of information, other sources of things. Just spending a lot of moments disconnected has helped me be more present and recognize the beauty of my own existence. It's so sad because we've become so out of touch with reality because of our conditioning that it seems impossible to receive the simplest pleasures that life has to offer, and I don't want us to miss the whole point of this experience. Honey, take me to a place where spending hours talking under the stars is the norm, or reading a book on a rooftop overlooking the city. I feel like true luxury is something that connects you with the feeling of organic peace. And by no means am I saying do not aim for the higher things and the finer things in life, because we want it. We want it and we're going to work hard to get it. But what I feel is that we cannot get lost in that chase for success, that our meaning and our purpose becomes corrupt. Let's remember that there is a deeper reason on why we should want wealth. Honey, not to ish on all of the people who have doubted you, not to ish on people you don't like, not to compete and outdo somebody else, going outfit for outfit, bar for what they be saying, girl, bar for bar, outfit for outfit, dollar for dollar, girl. Girl, honey, that elementary, middle school kind of stuff, honey, that we've outgrown. We don't do that anymore. We should want it to support and pour into our communities, to support and prioritize minorities, our loved ones, people who are struggling, people who are targeted by the same system we've been targeted by. What happened to simply being a good person and contributing to the overall positive energy of today's culture, of today's society, by simply being kind and generous? It's so important that we remain grounded and do things that uplift and inspire. There is so much deception happening in today's society, you guys, that one act of kindness, one small act of kindness can help somebody's entire week, somebody's entire month. You don't know how far that can go for someone. But as humans, I do feel we've become so consumed by the competition and the comparison that chasing success becomes less about bettering myself and the world around me and more about conflict plus cheating my way to the top. Come on, honey, let's get into it. Let's dig deep. Let's do it if we're gonna do it. Let's do it big. Like I said, I feel there is a true deep distortion on luxury's meaning. Well, for some people, not everybody. Luxury is more of an energy that you embody before you receive the luxuries that you are working towards. I had to learn that there are different seasons of your life. There are things that the enemy will send to break you, while spirit uses it to awaken you and strengthen your character. There are ups and downs always in life. We have to master being the calm in the face of storms, because it is inevitable that they do come, honey. When life feels overwhelming and you're stressed out, it may not be that you can just take a spontaneous vacation right now in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of somebody's Virgin Caribbean islands or wherever else foreign that people travel to. So you decide to take a few days off and vacation at home, doing your favorite activities, honey, trying new things. Something that I've tried that I've actually loved is that one weekend I decided to disconnect. I turned off my phone and I spent 2 days embodying this energy that I was like on a retreat. And so I just kind of started doing things that I would do if I was on some sort of like yoga retreat or some sort of like spa retreat. I don't know. Honey, I was just deep in my imagination. I did some yoga, I did some coloring, I did a bubble bath, I did some other fun things as well. Luxury is specifically tailored to our individual need, with where we are and what we currently have available to us. So we should stop idolizing and glorifying things that actually make us feel inferior if we do not have them. If you feel small simply because you don't have this physical possession, or because your life doesn't look the way somebody else's does, things like that speak to our character, to who we are at our core. Taking things too much to heart, taking things that should not make us who we are, and allowing that to dictate our whole image and self-perception. To give you guys a little bit of an example on what it looks like to detach from that kind of energy, let's say I saw someone who worked for years to finally purchase their brand new home. I am so happy for them, knowing that in my own journey, I now have proof of what faith and hard work can actually do. Just because I have not had the experience yet does not mean my life is of any less significance. Instead of feeling lack or like I'm missing something or that I don't have enough, I'll go to the park, rest in the grass and the sun, and simply just dream, close my eyes, and let my imagination wander off, envisioning the day that I do receive all of those things. For the time being, honey, that is one of the biggest forms of luxury, especially for us girlies who are starting new ventures, plus keeping their life on track. It's a beautiful thing to think about how I'm here now, and one day I'll be there looking back on now, remembering this similar feeling, all because I chose to believe in myself. So the definition of the word luxury for me has changed drastically from when I was a little boy and a teenager to now. It's about appreciating your humble beginnings while also finding peace, contentment, and joy in that space. But at the same time, you hold yourself to a certain standard, baby. You can appreciate and be present in your humble beginnings and still know that you are destined and meant for greater. This isn't the end of your story. So stop, baby. Stop comparing your luxury to their luxury. We can share similar interests, similar desires, but that does not mean, honey, it is the standard or that it's the rule book. It's the thing that everybody should be following, and if you're not following that, then you need to be penalized. Honey, what? And honey, another thing, be a lot, be a lot more stingy about the time you do take away from your luxury items or experiences. Honey, whether it is your candlelit bubble bath or a foreign waterfall or what's it called, a waterfall, water pool in a foreign country? Ooh, or a penthouse overlooking the city. Honey, I can get carried away. But no matter what it is, if people expect you to always pour into them, and they are not respecting your boundaries, they are not concerned about the time that you're taking for yourself, they don't care that you need more time to pour into yourself before you can pour into others, or they get angry and offended by it, honey, red flags. In general, you need to evaluate the whole relationship. Honey, keep that boundary in place to protect your luxury. Stop feeding into the lie that your worth is only what people ever told you it was. What do you believe? What do you believe you can do? What have you always wanted to do? If you were not afraid, if there was nobody around you, if you didn't have any family, any friends, if you didn't have anybody in your life, what is it that you would actually want to do? Asking myself these questions led me to the realization that I need to be prioritizing different things. And that prioritization, an elevated way of existing. Come on, get into it. Elevated though in terms of mindset. I started to understand that when I think better, when my internal world is more stable, then my external world reflects that. The elevated mindset is the continuous and endless, relentless path to growth, even when it pushes me far past my comfort zone spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally. That one. Mentally. When you intentionally stay on that path though, I feel like it makes you more prone to recognize or create the luxury that you know deep down is already yours. So girls, let's keep creating, let's keep learning, let's keep experimenting. Let's not deny ourselves of the thirst that we have been quenching. Let's redefine our standard of luxury so that we can appreciate it in all of its forms. Remember, you can appreciate the forms of luxury that you have now and also dream about the kind that you are working towards for the future. Luxury is a mindset, it is a lifestyle. It is not about what you have, even though that does add to it sometimes. But don't allow those things to take away from the fact that you are a luxurious being, you are a sensual being, you are an elevated being. Your birthright is to experience the beauty that this earth has to offer, learn more about your soul, so that it can ascend to higher realms. The point is not for you to continue to chase material success in hopes that you will be internally fulfilled. The goal is to be internally fulfilled before you receive all of that in which you are praying for and working for. But okay, that's enough for now. I'm done rambling. Y'all know I love these deep, cute little topics, honey. Well, they're not cute, honey. They're actually very broad and very, very grandeur. A luxurious topic. That wraps up the 9th episode of the Cozy Convos Podcast. The Cozy Convos Podcast, girl. Of course, like always, I enjoyed myself. This was a very good topic, and I feel like this is something that we should all kind of, think about and incorporate into our lives, if it fits, honey. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. I love to hear your opinions, your thoughts, and your own experiences and stories that relate to today's topic. And make sure you check out my other channel with my vlogs and my other content, my music, honey. It's the time in my life. I can't keep playing with my emotions. It won't end right. Some very exciting things are coming very, very soon. So yeah, I'm sending you guys so much love, light, positive energy, and prosperity in this upcoming new year. See you in the next episode. Kisses, hugs, and many, 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 many blessings.